fucking nerds. Who wants a shot at the champ?
They bring the heat.
Francis Ngannou is the hardest puncher in the history of fighting.
They bring the knowledge.
If you think this fight is going 5 rounds, you are out of your mind.
They bring you the picks.
The dog is getting it done in this one.
We deliver every single week. We're bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
The money line.
Don't miss it on the MMA Experts channel each week. The Money Line. We are live on a beautiful Monday talking UFC 320. We got pay-per-view fight week upon us. I am AJ, joined as always by my guy Mike Finch. What's up, bro?
I'm excited for this one, dude. First off, we're dressed up for it. All right, we're ready to fucking rock. And, I think the rumors have been a little overblown. I think Poatan looks pretty good in the sparring footage I'm seeing. And, leading into fight week, except for the Ozzy Diaz and Gutierrez fight being off, I'm fucking amped.
I'm pissed that fight's off. That was so exciting. So, a little bit of a, respectfully, but a little bit of a toss-up. Like, not a toss-up, excuse me, layup. For
okay, yeah.
It would have been a compliment. Nah, I thought that it was a showcase chance in the feature prelim for Gutierrez to get a big performance, but word on the street, and who knows what the words on the street is, that they're not giving up on getting Gutierrez a fight. I'm sure somebody will sign that dotted line. There's got to be somebody there.
Yeah, man. You in shape, AJ? Hit up fucking Sean Shelby.
If the UFC calls me for it, I'll take it right now.
Nick Maynard's ready, dude.
Let's do it. I can make 185 by Saturday.
Shit, I've been eating, bro. I am 185. I was 190 last time I weighed myself. I'm like, God damn, I need to chill the fuck out, dude.
Yeah, listen, bro. That's the fucking good fatherly weight you put on.
Get ready for the dad bod. Yes, gotta get the dad bod on. Of course. Yeah, my wife comes home right now. She's like, I got Klondike bars. I'm fucking great. Then she goes, they're mint chocolate chip. Don't touch them. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Yeah. She knows I hate mint chocolate chip. That shit is
That's
terrible.
a good strategy for her. That's it. Bringing mint chocolate chip.
She's smart, man. Yep. She knows I don't like mint chocolate chip. So she'll get mint chocolate chip ice cream or whatever and be like, guess you can't eat it.
Damn. I'm sorry, Finch. I'm craving a Klondike bar now that you said it. Jesus, man. I'm about to eat something after the stream.
Well, you haven't smoked in months, bro. You should be off the Klondike bars.
Honestly, I haven't had a Klondike bar in years, so now I got to see what it's like sober. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't know, but new sponsor. Boom, we play the ad right now.
Klondike bars coming in. Get your favorite flavor. It's just me stuffing my face in the real. I'd take it. Listen, if Klondike wants to sponsor the show, we don't mind doing an ice cream sponsorship.
Could be like cut out like AJ throwing the flying knee. Klondike, jump
Klondike bars. I don't know what their little shtick would be. I don't know what I'd say.
For Klondike bar? What is it? What would you do for a Klondike bar? Isn't that it?
And then you throw the flying knee. What would you do for a Klondike?
AJ just fighting club security. Like it pauses right in the middle. What would you do for a Klondike? You know what I mean? I like
That'd be sick, man. I like that. That's a great commercial idea. If Klondike's watching it, we're more than happy to take you guys on and bring in some ice cream sponsors. Now, we got a good card this weekend, but I think at the very least, we got to touch on what was this past Saturday. There was what almost felt like a funeral service for Dominic Reyes getting knocked out violently in round number 1. It was really bad because he didn't put up a fight, man. Regardless, if he would have lost, but he would have brought some heat and thrown some big combos, he was tentative, gun shy, and I hate to say it, but fighting scared. He wasn't letting anything go. It was like he was so worried about the counters. Now you could say, oh, but look what happened as soon as he got hit. I feel like if maybe he would have took a couple of chances, could have at least had a couple of moments throughout the fight. I mean, there was a couple leg kicks, few missed head kicks for Reyes, but nothing. And he got knocked the fuck out in the first real sequence the two had. Yeah, Ulberg title shot for sure.
Carlos Ulberg smoked him. I mean, it was not competitive. He was very patient early on too, which is what I was initially thinking. I'm thinking, okay, you got a counter puncher in Reyes and you got a counter puncher in Olberg, who likes to sit back and kind of just score some points on you, this thing will probably have a calm start. And AJ kind of did, but the class difference between the two, the speed, the timing, the dynamics, the ability to close distance, it was all Carlos Olberg. You saw that Reyes was missing shots, and you could just see him kind of take a deep breath after he'd miss his shots, like, oh my God, I can't find this guy. This guy's faster than me. It's a terrible feeling. And you could tell he had it. And, shout out to him because he still went for Olberg's head. And that's exactly how he got dropped. And that's exactly how he got knocked out once he was on the floor. Vicious performance from Carlos Olberg. That's exactly what he needed. Now, if you go Olberg versus Pereira, you could always sign me up for that. But Olberg versus Ankalaev, I think it's a good fight. I like the range management of Olberg in that fight, especially in the big cage. Brother, you got a title challenger now.
I got to say, without a doubt, it's a positive thing for the UFC to have a new face fighting for gold. I don't want to see the endless slew of rematches. We have Procházka and Pereira, what goddamn felt like 7 times between the two of them. We had Khalil Rountree, and now we have him in a top contender fight this weekend. Even if he's to win, even if Procházka is to win, regardless, I think you go towards the new option for the title as opposed to 2 guys that have had their cracks and, Procházka being a former champ.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've been saying that about Olberg, dude. I've been impressed with Carlos Olberg. So to see him finally have that kind of title shot performance, that's what he really needed. He needed to put somebody's lights out. Yeah, now you gotta put him up for the belt, and that's a fun pay-per-view. And fuck, I hope they even do it in Australia.
I went 10-2 on picks on the card.
Me
Finch.
too. What?
I know you did too. I was gonna say, and I know you went 10-2 also, bro. Let's go.
10-2, yes, sir.
The reason that I picked Reyes, I got an excuse already in the back pocket. I called it early. I was still taking rips when I made that pick. I'm telling you guys, it was a bit of a stoned prediction, and I was about as out of it as Reyes was post-fight making that pick all week, Nah, but I made that pick 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago, whatever.
For real.
It was like the week before I stopped taking rips. I swear to God, it threw my mind off. That's my valid excuse because looking at it, we should have known.
But you are one who could change your picks. I've seen you change picks.
I felt it couldn't be changed, man. It had to just take it on the chin. I had to live by the sword, die by the sword, man. And we went into the valley of death. And they chopped their fucking heads off.
Brought the sword for you.
Yeah, we got eaten by the cannibals.
10-2 is fantastic.
I felt good about the
proud
numbers.
of my 10-2 as well. If we go 10-2 each card, we're fucking killing them.
We're killing it. Shout out to Wise with the $4.99. Shout out to the boys. Olberg confirmed we already knew. Reyes' chin is washed. And the Olberg precision is crazy, though. Let's give some fucking, props to Olberg, too. I'm talking all this, Reyes, this and that. Dominic Reyes. It is what it is. Carlos Olberg looked really sharp.
Absolutely. There was a lot of chin talk about Dominic Reyes when he was coming back, right? And even on that skid. And I mentioned this on Friday on my full card predictions show before the fights. It was gone after he KO'd a couple people. That doesn't mean that you are durable, So Carlos Olberg tapped the button to see what would happen. 100% credit has to go to Carlos Olberg. He looked fantastic.
Wise, thank you for the dono, man. It's a great performance for Olberg that sets him up for a title shot. Where does Dominic Reyes go from here? Jamal Hill? I feel like that's a cool fight.
I like that. I like that, bro. I like Jamal Hill versus Dominic Reyes is cool.
Or Johnny Walker. Those are 2 options that I could
Walker,
see.
Though, just had this crazy performance. I don't know.
I don't know.
I think Johnny Walker is more in a give him a Yuri or give him a,
Trying to get him knocked out again?
Whoa. What?
Shit.
He just beat Zhang, bro. Zhang versus Yuri. You're confident in Yuri? I think it's a fight.
I go Yuri over Zhang. Zhang can't take a leg kick. We know it now. His legs are too thick. He got those fucking gym coach calves, dog. He can't take the
attack. Gym coach calves is crazy.
Hey, Jared Nunes, thank you for $19.99. My guy, let's get it done this week. Love that shirt, Finch. It is a nice shirt, Finch.
Thank
is it
you,
snake
brother.
Skin, bro? Jesus, this guy's styling.
Yeah, on most confident just now. Is that snakeskin? This I got for Europe, for like Paris and Italy, you know. So I was shopping in OC, like, oh, I got the Euro vacation. I gotta blend in, you know. It's gotta be a little light, a little breathable. Thank you, Jared.
Hey, let's go. Hernanov, thank you for the 20 months of membership. The undefeated, undisputed with the it's peace and love. God bless this community. W Ant W Finch, a little Farid plus Big Ank parlay play this weekend. Let's fucking go. Let's go, Hernanov. I like the calls. Thank you for
Godspeed, Hernandov. We'll talk about him, but Godspeed, dude. Thank you.
Let's go. I do want to just lightly touch on a couple of the matchups. I don't think we need to go in an in-depth recap for everything that went down. But I want to say this matchup here, Crute Urslan, Crute submission game nasty.
And submission, we called it.
Yeah, he comes through. He looked good. And then fight before, Jenkins Tavares, you know, clean one-sided Jenkins, but Tavares still in it for 3 rounds. Bro, I just got to say this, and this is why I want to bring, how did he miss weight? Coming from 35 up to 45, comes in at 47. That shocked me more than anything else.
They're hanging out with Kelvin Gastelum too much.
They've been eating at the taco truck together.
Jenkins fought a good fight, man. He got takedowns too, so he showed that he's working on all of his skills. Jenkins fought pretty well.
And then this one here, Matthews and Magny. Finch, we got to talk about the controversy. This is a weird situation. Whereas Jake Matthews has a locked-in mounted ghillie, the referee thinks Magny goes out, stops the fight, touches them both, says it's done before the round ends, but then changes his mind. Now, he was blessed with having only 2 seconds left of the round, where it's not like there's a minute left. And he's like, oh, I thought I heard the bell. So they allowed it to go forth. But I don't know, as much as it would have been a bad call, you could say, what's the other side of the argument? What if another 2 seconds is all Matthews needed to actually put Magny to sleep with the choke? Not saying that's a guarantee. But what do you feel about this one? Do you think it's a bullshit call? What do you think?
No contest. If it was a bad stoppage, that's the best they can do. Honestly, you kind of owe Jake Matthews his win money, you know, because Jake Matthews has this guillotine. You know, Neil Magny's a veteran. He should probably know that if your arm just kind of falls to the side, whatever happened, right? That's probably not a good look. You know, you might have to, you see a lot of people thumbs up or whatever. You know, Neil Magny, I think, made a mistake for sure. But the real mistake was on the referee, you know, and if the referee made the mistake, okay, then that's the story. That's what happened. I had a guillotine and the fight shouldn't have stopped, but the referee stopped the fight. You don't just restart it. I think this has to start from the referee, of course, but the corner of Jake Matthews. Say no, leave, go home, leave. This guy stopped the fight. This guy said he's out, waved his hands, stopped the fucking fight. Stop. The timekeeper's writing down the time. I mean, it was a wrap. Leave, you won. You know, he was a real gentleman to go and restart that fight. So was his corner. And, you know, in a way, it's not necessarily Neil Magny's fault, right? I mean, Neil Magny, you know, was able to get another fight and win it, you know, it's just crazy. Here, I think my parlay hit, you know, and then fuck, Neil Magny gets another shot at him. And sure enough, he fucking chokes him with those, you know, spider arms of his. That was crazy.
That was crazy. Unfortunate, man. I think very live to get overturned to a no contest, especially the fact the referee put hands on the fighters before the bell rang. Matthews releases the choke, the referee saying it's done, and then walks that back. I don't even see how the commission didn't just get involved in the moment. Like, I have to say, I think that's also a commission flaw. The commission should have said, no, sir, you stopped the fight. Yes. And even if it was a mistake or not, you're dealing with the Jake Matthews who now puts his hands up in celebration. Magny's walking away pissed that he lost. It's like the adrenaline dump, the confusion. I really think that it's unfair to both. Maybe no contest it and just fucking run a rematch at this rate.
That makes sense. But again, like, I would even argue that Jake Matthews deserves his win bonus. So I did hear them address this at the post-fight press conference. You know, I heard no contest come up. I heard so we'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens in the coming weeks. And Neil does it again somehow, some way. Shout out to Paku for the 5. He says 10-2, baby. Me too. It's very hard to call fights that accurate consistently. The main thing is Brando got it done and looked amazing. Let's go, guys. He looked like a terrifying force. He like caved in the face of his opponent with the big bombs he was throwing.
I was impressed with the boy.
He was attacking, dude. He was a grizzly bear out of one of those cages where they let it go and it starts trying to fuck up the truck, you know. Like he was just unloading shots. Didn't matter if it was at range, in the clinch, ground and pound. He's a vicious man.
I'm impressed. I like your boy's style. I look forward to more. Francesco Labita, thank you for 6 months of membership with the money emoji. You're a gangster. Big W. Listen, I want to get ready to talk next week's card. I'm looking through and thinking, are there any quick notes of what happened? I mean, Nolan and Campbell was a great fight. 1 round fight. Nolan gets dropped again, comes back, gets the finish. That was sick.
Yeah. Nolan showing his well-roundedness, you know, showing his ability to hang in there with the striking with a Campbell who's fucking game, who's pretty good striker. Yeah, I think I was trying to make some comparisons to my buddy today, Kevin, with like, you know, Charlie Campbell's got a little bit of Jack Della. He's like, no, he's like, stop. He is not Jack Della. I'm like, all right, we were watching the fight again, and I think he's right. I think Jack Della is a little too much love, but Campbell's had Jack Della moments. He had a Jack Della moments against ATT. Fucking come back
Chris Duncan on the Contender Series.
Yeah, he rocked Chris Duncan. Exactly. So, you know, Campbell's got game. Unfortunately, that game does not exist on the ground. Tom Nolan gets him out of there. Shout out to Free Channel who got to cash Tom Nolan, straight money line. And then one more. I got a dog. I got Colby Thickness who made me fucking sweat, bro. Made me sweat. Roasting. We called roasting. You too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we
Plus
both did.
money. You're welcome.
I think we called on the prelims. The only fight we disagreed with was Malarkey Bedoya. And then on the main card, the only one we disagreed with was the main event.
Yep. You got Malarkey and I got Olberg. Yes, I think that's exactly right. So shout out to Colby.
I can't hear you, Finch. Audio free Finch, man.
Yes, but brother, I'm telling you, he needs to chain wrestle. Colby Thickness only shoots straight in. He gets stuffed, and he just like, well, that didn't work. It's like, Colby, take the single. Come up on the body lock, right? Cut an angle on the double. You shoot in, he's going to do what? He's going to sprawl. Man, I predicted it too. Okay. Step up on the outside, get your head up and run across his body. He needs to spend a weekend with Khamzat Chimaev because if he chain wrestled, he wouldn't have been 2 for 16 or whatever his fucking takedown ratio was. The funny thing is, though, all he needed was 2. He needed a takedown in the first and a takedown in the third, and then he could just dominate because Mousasi is bankrupt on the ground.
I will say, though, he kicked him in the balls hard round 3. I think that saved his life, man. The momentum was not in his favor starting that round off. Heavy nut shot, and then next thing you know, he ends up landing the takedown upon the restart.
Mousasi took all 5 minutes to recover. Yeah. I'm going to give it to Thickness on that one.
And then real quick, are you blown away with Navajo? You have doubts? What are your thoughts with him? Because he is like the blue chip prospect from City Kickboxing for the light heavyweight division. He's 3-0 in the UFC now. Close decision, but not like close, but there was moments for Balazzo. In the first and second round, I thought Sterling looked real good. It's just that third round, he looked a little slowed down, a little less confident.
Yeah, man. I think that he looked good. I thought he could be a little more mobile. Sterling was a little bit happy to stand in front of Balado and try to wrestle with him and stuff, which worked. I mean, he won. So, you know, Balado's just not fast. And so Sterling was able to, you know, kind of play Balado's game and beat him at it. So I didn't hate it. You know, if you're winning, I'm good with it. But it'd be nice to see Sterling get on his bike again. And I think he will. Total prospect. Yeah, of course.
Anuel Tuber, thank you for $4.99. Finch, this one's for you, man.
Finch, I'm going to be down from Sacramento. Let me get some work in with you. Love you too, Anuel Tuber. I'm over at UFC Gym Huntington Beach. Hit me up. You could DM Mike Finch MMA on Instagram. Let me know when you're coming in. We'll put some work in. Let's go.
Let's go. Shout out to the boy. Listen, Finch, enough about UFC Perth. We got a damn 320 card to get into. All right, let's get into it, guys. Hit that like button. If you guys are new, subscribe it up and let's talk. We got Veronica Hardy versus Brogan Walker to start the card off. And I thought Brogan Walker retired. She hasn't fought in over 2 years. She was an Ultimate Fighter finalist and then, you know, lost to Lucindo nearly 2.5 years ago. I'm going to go with Veronica Hardy to win. I think that she's better overall. I think the striking will be cleaner. The grappling threat is there. I mean, Walker's got a bit of Muay Thai, but I don't feel it, man. It's so long out of the game. I don't like that. Veronica Hardy's been active over the past couple years, about 4 fights in the span of Brogan Walker's layoff. And one of those fights, too, a win over Juliana Miller, who dominated Brogan Walker and finished her in the Ultimate Fighter finale. So I'm going to say Veronica Hardy decision makes the most sense. Yeah, ladies starting us off, man. What do you think, Finch?
Veronica Hardy is 9-5 as a professional. She's minus 600 against Brogan Walker, and it's 100% deserved. I think she's much better no matter where this fight goes. You're talking about a woman who's trying to do this as a career versus a woman who's dabbling in this in Brogan Walker. Yeah, I think that it's going to be Veronica Hardy technically kickboxing her up all day. I would not be surprised to see a finish.
Veronica Hardy is minus 650, like the Finch man said. If you want Hardy inside distance, it's 3-1 odds. Note that Brogan Walker did lose by knockout, ground and pound against Juliana Miller. Lucindo was a decision, but that was a young Lucindo 2.5 years ago. There's really, what can I say? 36 years old, nearly 2.5 years away from the sport, 7-4 as a pro. If you include the tough fights, I guess it's 9-4. Veronica Hardy's been active. She fought Eduarda Mora, who's a beastly grappler last time, lost a competitive fight, had a nice 3-fight win streak, even with a win over JJ Aldrich, which I think demands some respect. It should be a Hardy win. I don't know about stoppage is possible. Hardy just doesn't have that much power, though, and I don't know if she chokes her out.
Yeah, I think the level difference is too much, especially as the fight wears on. But I don't like chasing a finish on this fight. You know, they have that Juliana Miller fight in common where, we saw Veronica Hardy able to dominate that fight. I think Veronica Hardy's a lock.
Yeah, she should handle. Shouldn't be much trouble against Brogan Walker. Ain't nothing else to say besides a one-sided ladies fight to start the card off. We're going Hardy for the W. Let's get to the next fight. This one I like. Ramiz Brahimaj versus Austin Vanderford. So I'm predicting the side of Mr. Van Zandt, Austin Vanderford, to go out and win. I think that Brahimaj is really riding high off 2 nice wins, but dig deeper. Mickey Gall, 7-7 after the fight. He knocked out, but he's still getting hit a good amount. Beat Billy Goff. Billy Goff was 0-1 in the UFC, and Brahimaj showed him levels on the ground. Fight before those two, though, Themba Gorimbo out-grappled Brahimaj and wrestled him up. And I think Themba Gorimbo's wrestling is not, I don't believe at least, on par with Vanderford's. Austin Vanderford's high level with control on the ground, former Bellator guy, so I'm excited to hear your take on this one, Finch, man. I feel like Vanderford can wrestle him up throughout the fight. Actually, I got to say, I like Vanderford's stiff jab a lot on the feet, too. Does have a decent enough stand-up game. Obviously, bread and butter is wrestling. If it's striking, I can see Brahimaj looking for big shots and missing. I can see Vanderford catching him with straights. I expect wrestling between the two. I predict the better wrestler is Vanderford. He's the guy that ends up on top more throughout the fight. And I'm going to say Vanderford takes it home. He should get a clear W, I think.
Yeah, Vanderford is the better wrestler between the two, and I've been able to watch him work in Bellator. I was there live for his loss to Aaron Jeffrey, and the fans he's got, man, he's got some real fans, Austin Vanderford. Maybe it's because he does softcore porn with Paige Van Zandt, but he's got some legit fans in the stands who really care if he wins or loses, and he had a great fucking UFC debut. He looks solid, and he's up against Ramiz Brahimaj now in a fun one. I do think Austin Vanderford can hit a takedown here, but I think Ramiz Brahimaj is going to be better at submission grappling and then on the feet. Brother, I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Ramiz Brahimaj. He's pretty fucking explosive. He's a little bit more comfortable in the UFC than Austin Vanderford at this point. And what I saw against Aaron Jeffries was just, if you could just get a little bit of speed on some shots, you can get to Austin Vanderford and he will start, panic shooting and reacting negatively. That was only a couple years ago, and he only has 2 wins since then. He's not the most active. So who's 100% focused on being a full-time UFC fighter? It's Ramiz Brahimaj. Austin Vanderford is making a lot of money, which Paige Van Zandt making content. I don't think he needs this. I don't think he's ready to die out there like Ramiz Brahimaj is. I think Ramiz Brahimaj does more damage than him on the feet. Maybe he is able to get some positions and wrestle a little bit, but I think Ramiz Brahimaj can create scrambles, pop back up to his feet, and look for a finish late. Give me Ramiz Brahimaj, maybe a club and sub in the third.
I respect the Brahimaj call, especially because the odds are just plain stupid for this fight. Vanderford's a 3-1 favorite. Brahimaj at plus 250 underdog status. I would expect odds that have Vanderford as a slight favorite, maybe minus 180 to plus, 190 plus 150 rather. But I don't know. Like close to, lines that dictate what the fight is. So the Brahimaj side ain't bad, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, Finch. I think that there's definitely a point to it because it's not like clear as day Vanderford. I'm thinking he outgrits him on a decision, but maybe this is one I'll leave to the weigh-ins as a potential flip. I could always flip. You said it earlier. Maybe this is destiny. You're telling me. Maybe I got to go AJ the pick flipper and we got to get one right. 2025 pick flip status,
It's like when you fly too close to the Death Star, it starts pulling you in. We're caught in its tractor beam. I'm gonna catch you in a fucking tractor. He's coming over to Ramiz Brahimaj. You guys will see.
I just have to say one thing, and we can talk about this, and I want to hear your take. Brahimaj, a year and 4 months ago, got wrestled up by Themba Gorimbo. Themba Gorimbo is not that good at wrestling. Yeah. Now, could it have been a really bad night for Brahimaj? Like, there could be net negatives around it. He hadn't fought in over 2 years at the time, so that maybe was a factor, some ring rust. I'm taking that into consideration. Initially, why I called it is because thinking Vanderford hitting the key takedowns and controlling, and he looked pretty good against Veretennikov, beating his ass. But it's a 50-50 fight where the betting side is a lot more lucrative on Brahimaj. It tempts me to go there. I shall think about this one more. I'm going to go a little harder on this. I'm going to have this written down.
Aren't always the same thing, too.
No, it's true. A Brahimaj bet is not a bad idea. It's just, I guess I've always liked Vanderford. I met him in person at a bare knuckle event years and years and years ago. He's a cool guy, but I don't want to be swayed by my fandom,
Right.
I think Brahimaj definitely has looked good in his past 2 fights. And, Vanderford's win, yes, impressive. It was Veretennikov, who isn't some monster in the welterweight division.
Who we're about to see on this card.
About to find out. We got Brahimaj for the Finch, Mr. Underdog status. I'll go with Vanderford. For now, you're tempting me, Finch. You're tempting me. I see why. No, I get it for sure, man. I mean, if Brahimaj activity is on point, like you said, Vanderford making money in other areas.
And Brahimaj has got a dog in him, bro. He's got a fucking dog in him. I think he's better at 2 out of 3 areas. I think he's the better striker and better at submission grappling on the floor.
Respect. Let's go. I respect the call. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we have Punahele Soriano versus Ankalaev Veretennikov, who we were just talking about. I'm picking Puna Soriano, Finch. I think that he could hit key takedowns here. I didn't think Veretennikov won his last fight. I really thought that he was very blessed to get a favorable decision against Prado in a fight that I really thought went against him. His takedown defense is not great. His boxing is okay. I mean, he has a little bit of power. He has decent length, but I do feel like, especially for a welterweight, he's on the slower side, and I feel like he's pretty heavy-footed. And when I look at Punahele Soriano, I think of the precise power, the big hooks in range, the wrestling game, the top control, the physicality, and the fact that we have seen Punahele Soriano transform from being a middleweight to a welterweight, carrying the same power, but looking in vastly superior shape. I think Punahele Soriano should dominate, and I think he's live for a finish.
Yeah, I have a little bit of info about King's MMA too, so maybe I'll dump it. So first thing, Soriano looks solid against Uros Medic. I mean, it was an impressive performance, and I do think that stylistically, he's just going to have so much more consequence when he lands on Veretennikov. Veretennikov not super mobile, not super defensively sound, so I could see him getting clipped. And yeah, he eked past a pretty good puncher in Prado and, lost his other fights besides that. King's MMA, they've had people leave. Right now, Mike Tyson is starting to train to fight Floyd Mayweather. So the head coach of King's MMA, Rafael Cordero, his number one priority is being over there with Mike Tyson. So I don't even know if Veretennikov is maybe training at the Anaheim location with Beneil Dariush. That would make sense. And maybe he's doing some one-on-ones with Rafael. I really don't want to speak out of school, but what I can tell you is that I talked to people who have left King's MMA, who are like going over to Classic or going over to other gyms in the local area, because it makes sense that Master Cordero's focus is on Mike Tyson. It pays a lot to corner Mike Tyson, so he has a family to support, but they need to fight. And so if they're having gym issues with Veretennikov too, even more reason to think that Soriano is going to surprise him with a big shot here. Give me Soriano knockout.
Soriano the call all day. And odds for the fight feel like reasonable. Minus 260. I think you could price Soriano at 4-1 in this matchup. A winner, as far as this UFC has gone, Veretennikov 1-2 in the UFC, but in a perfect world, he's probably 0-3. Soriano, yes, 5-4 overall, but 2-0 in the welterweight division. And he's fought guys like Roman Kopylov, Brendan Allen, and Dustin Stoltzfus up in weight. I think that Soriano dominates here. I think his power is a big factor on the feet, but I think his wrestling too is going to be effective. And I think he can handle Veretennikov and stop him.
Yep, extreme couture all day. So he's got that look too. Yeah, and he's just stronger than Veretennikov. Yeah, I can't pick Veretennikov when he doesn't have any real weapons to finish this fight. You could just see Soriano being the one doing damage. I'm gonna say he gets a TKO.
I like it. Soriano TKO. What's the line for the KO? Soriano by knockout plus 130. So little plus money. The money line minus 260. Definitely parlayable in my opinion.
Yeah, he's gone to decision a couple times. He went to split with Prado and then split with Danny Barlow too. So Veretennikov, it wouldn't be insane to go long. What's the straight money line?
Straight money line is minus 260 Soriano.
So maybe a parlay piece. Interesting.
Soriano for the dubs. Finch and I both. I think we're on the right side of history. Next one. We got an interesting fight. Patchy Mix making his sophomore UFC appearance against Jakub Wikłacz. Finch, you are a Patchy Mix witness. Break down this fight for us.
You got Patchy motherfucking Mix, the human backpack, the guy with the sharpest guillotine in the game. And he's up against the guy with the fucking sharp guillotine too. I saw Wikłacz choking this fool out. The referee is just standing there. This guy's just completely unconscious. Wikłacz is just hanging onto his neck. He's like talking to the ref. He's like, he's out, bro. You know what I mean? And this guy is just dreams on dreams, dude. He looked like he was on a DMT trip. He was out for a minute. That was probably the closest I've ever felt like I've seen someone to dying from a guillotine. That was insane. So Wikłacz has a fucking vice grip of a guillotine too. Patchy Mix should be able to outstrike him, which is a big fucking plus, because the big problem Patchy Mix had in his debut is he's up against this rangy, good striker in Mario Batista, and he was kind of stiff and he was kind of not using good head movement. Well, now he's up against a guy who's not known for his head movement or his boxing or his, so Patchy might actually be able to settle in and start out striking him, and then everything will come into play. When people shoot on Wikłacz, he does look for guillotines, so it'd be interesting to see them threaten each other. But brother, even if this was fucking 80cc submission grappling, I'm still going Patchy. So in the cage, you got Patchy's elbows. He's got nice weapons. Ask Rafion Stotts about his elbows. He won $1 million with it. I think that he finishes this fight. Let's say it's probably actually going to be a TKO, but I could see Patchy, finding a submission, of course. I think Wikłacz is a major step down from Batista, and it'll show.
And you know what? I think Patchy Mix is the better boxer. I know Patchy's striking is going to get shit on at the moment, but Patchy can mix it up with a good southpaw long jab. He's got a pretty high and tight guard. Mm-hmm. Even though you're getting touched by a Batista's a top contender. And I think that Wikłacz boxing is mid. His kicking skills look pretty nice. He really likes that body teep. He'll like overthrow those teeps a little bit. But as far as his hands, not one of his, strong suits. And I think Mix could win in that area with Max success. You know what I'm saying? And on the ground, I think Mix the better wrestler. And I think Mix, even with the submission threat against the grappler in his own right, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think he tries to find a way to finish because he needs a big bounce back here, and I think he gets it, man. Patchy Mix, you got to remember, he's won $1 million in MMA. He's defended the Bellator title. He's fought a lot of pretty big name pros in his career. So he knows what it's like to stand across from a Sergio Pettis. He knows what it's like to stand across from a Kyoji Horiguchi or champions in other organizations. He is looking at this fight like, okay, I'm going to go out there and showcase what I'm capable of type of thing. And I think he will.
Currently, Patchy Mix sitting at -250 on the favorite status. Wikłacz +210. If you like Mix inside the distance, you got +130. If you think he's going to get a KO, it's +850. Something to note about Patchy Mix, very sound in the grappling department, but he does have 2 knockout wins as a professional. Nice knockout over Rafael and Stotts many years ago. So
that's right.
Something to know.
That's right.
Absolutely. More likely, though, I feel like it's grapple fucking, and I think he lets the sub fly. But I'll say this, Mix last time, all he wanted to do was strike. In this one here, I'm expecting more grappling from him. But if it is just striking, he could put Wikłacz out. I really think Patchy Mix's hands will be better than Wikłacz's. I think he can get it done this time.
I think Wikłacz style is something Patchy's used to. I'm watching him hit pads at the UFC PI. I'm watching them work, and they work on a lot of it looks very Muay Thai based. Like there's a Muay Thai undertone to it, and you can just see it's more Muay Thai stance for Wikłacz. He's not in there moving like fucking, Topuria with his knees bent and slipping his head. I think Patchy will be comfortable with that style.
Let's go. Patchy Mix for the dubs. The call for me. The call from the Finch. Let's keep it running. Next fight on the card, the ladies are going after Macy Chiasson versus Yana Santos. I think Chiasson gets a decision here. I think she can out-kickbox Santos, outwork her in the clinch. I think she can win the grappling battle of the two. Round 3, Santos was struggling against Miesha Tate. She lost that 3rd round clearly after winning the first 2. Chiasson gets her down. I think she can keep her down. She could possibly sub her. I really think it's a Chiasson chance to get back on track after losing up in weight to Ketlin Vieira. Obviously, women's featherweight doesn't even exist, but they ended up doing it up there. And Ketlin Vieira, obviously a pretty high caliber girl. Yana Santos has a controversial decision win over her some years ago, but I think Chiasson beats Yana.
Yeah, Yana Santos exiting out of her prime and Macy Chiasson entering it. Macy Chiasson was on a roll too. She was showing some real promise. So rangy kickboxing here makes a lot of sense. I think the matchup actually works for her. Now, Yana Santos has gotten better as she's been in the UFC. I mean, Yana Santos was on a pretty bad skid herself. So, she's bringing something to this. This is not my most confident pick of the card, but Macy Chiasson, I think she's got a lot still left to show us. I think her best fights are ahead of her, and I do think this is a good bounce back for her. I think Macy Chiasson wins a decision by landing more shots.
-180 for Chiasson, Santos +155. Over 2.5 rounds sits at -245, and Chiasson on the cards is +125. If you play Chiasson by sub, it's 4-1. Not saying to go chase it, but just something worth noting.
Yeah, I think Macy Chiasson decision super likely. If she finished Yana Santos, that'd be sick, but I'd be surprised.
Chiasson on the cards makes perfect sense. Anything else left to say about these ladies besides it is what it is? We're going Chiasson.
It is what it is. The ladies' picks are pretty confident on this card.
I agree. Next fight, Daniel Willie Cat Santos versus Ju Sang Yu. I'm picking the side of Ju Sang Yu to beat Willie Cat in this matchup. I like this fight a lot. Now, that's not to say Willie Cat isn't a difficult fight. Willie Cat showed pretty good head movement and boxing combinations last time against Ji Young Lee. I really enjoyed the way that he was able to sit in the pocket with the head on the swivel and let multi-shot combinations fly. He also does have the wrestling, and he times takedowns pretty well. An element of this fight will be Santos looking to threaten in the grappling department. I have seen Yu taken down before a few fights ago. He was taken down, showed good get-up game in the fight, and did win. But, Ju Sang Yu is known as the power-hitting striker with insane precision. Even though Daniel Santos is a good striker, I do think path of least resistance, as the Finchman would say, would probably be mixing in grappling, looking to maybe even submit a Ju Sang Yu. The thing is, I think Ju Sang Yu's distance management is sharp. It's not like he's getting mauled on the ground where there's no positives to take away. His get-up game seems to be there. And even if he is taken down, I can see him fighting back up to his feet. It's not like Santos has crazy abilities to pin people from top position or crazy abilities to submit people. I mean, if you look at his UFC run so far, he's a former bantamweight, moved up to the featherweight division after pulling out of the Davey Grant fight because he was way off in weight. He got a John Castaneda knockout, but he was rocked early in that fight, beat Johnny Munoz Jr. by a decision, and beat Ji-Yoon Lee. Big win against John Castaneda. I mean, that's respectable, but that was back in 2022. Ji-Yoon Lee turned out to be a bit of a scrub, to be honest with you. Back-to-back losses, Hyder Mill and now Willie Cat, and Hyder Mill knocked him out in a minute. I think Ju Sang Yu is going to have the power edge. I think he's got the precise striking edge, and I think he's going to be able to beat Daniel Santos. Even if it's competitive, even if it ends up going into the later stages, I think Yu is prepared for a 3-round battle, not just a first-round knockout. But I also see a real possibility that Yu's slickness gets him some big moments. And I look back at Santos getting out kickboxed by Julio Arce in the debut, and I think, okay, I think Ju Sang Yu can keep the range, touch him up from distance, and he could win a decision if he doesn't get the KO. So Ju Sang Yu should handle.
Yeah, I'll go Ju Sang Yu as well, but it is a tough one because of the experience in the UFC that Daniel Santos brings. I mean, the Jekka, knockout was a wicked debut, and I like that it was at a UFC pay-per-view. It was actually Marab's fight with O'Malley at the Sphere. So that's fucking awesome. That's a great experience to have to get out there. And what's up with Daniel Santos trying to beat back-to-back South Koreans, bro? What you got with the South Koreans?
I don't know.
Santos, what are you trying to say, man? That's crazy matchmaking that he gets the 2 South Koreans back-to-back. But I think Sang Yu can outstrike him. Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, Daniel Santos, Johnny Munoz Jr. decision was nice. Knocked out John Castaneda. He's been trying to be active, but these fights keep not happening with Daniel Marcos and Davey Grant and Doohoo Choi. He's got a lot of canceled fights. He's been trying to be active, though. I think this is close, dude. I think they're going to have a pretty close decision and a pretty good fight. Slight lean for the dog, but I reserve the right to change my opinion. I'll let you guys know by weigh-ins.
All right, Finch, man. Sitting on the fence slightly towards the South Korean side. Currently, Ju Sang Yu is a plus 121 underdog. Santos at minus 141. It's definitely a good level jump for you. Jekka Saragi is damn near not UFC level. That was, just a toss of an easy W. But he did get a sick KO in doing so. So Yu does show he's got some real power.
Yeah.
He's got some good precision on his shots. I like his distance striking. He's got the slickness and the fast twitch abilities. I wrote down that the worrisome area is takedown defense, is if Santos is able to get him to the ground. I think they used a better distance striker. Not that Santos couldn't mix it up because he's got good shoot they box Muay Thai, but I think that Ju Sang Yu is better on the feet.
High guard, he could kick with him a little bit. But yeah, that check hook was so gorgeous. Yeah, it's a good matchup, man. I'm just interested to see it. Definitely a fun one that I think, they could trade rounds.
Yeah. Let's go Yu for the W, Finch, man. I think he can handle in this one.
Right.
Should beat Santos. We're going the same side, at least for now. Finch, man, has a right to flip. We got the right to flip till Friday, but we'll see.
This is one of the closer ones.
Respect. Next fight on the card, we have Chris Gutierrez versus Farid Basharat, not Javid Basharat that got knocked out by Ricky Simone. This is the better brother, substantially. Farid Basharat is, in my opinion, a more well-refined, younger, and effective version of what Chris Gutierrez always tried to be. He's a precise striker with really good lateral movement and also has decent wrestling. His top control is solid. I really feel like Farid Basharat, to me, seems like a guy that's close towards the top 15 level. Stance switch hitter, similar to what you see, though, with Chris Gutierrez. I just think that Basharat has more confidence. I think Basharat has better wrestling. Being younger, I think he has more upside and the potential trending upward. I also think he's got better hands. I think that the side of Basharat has pretty solid jab. He'll pepper some combinations out there as he stays moving. I like his calm attack. I like the way that he's able to switch stances into a nice right hand. I like the way that he's able to mix in some grappling. I really think that Farid Basharat pulls through by a unanimous decision. We've seen Gutierrez taken down in this past couple, and I think Basharat could end up going to the well with some grappling here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be all about Gutierrez's ability to keep Basharat off of him, because AJ, despite Basharat having good hands, I think he gets out kicked here on the feet. You know, Chris Gutierrez is good at eking out decisions, and he's good at scoring points from distance. The problem would be if he ends up on his back, and I think Basharat being able to take him down is an issue. It's another one I'm on the fence about. It's just that the odds are so goddamn wide. 4-1 favorite for Basharat. I think that the striking goes to Chris Gutierrez. I think he's going to kick those calves, kick those legs, even bring that up to the body and head and keep range on him in that big cage. It's going to be up to Basharat to close that distance. I think training the ATT, he'll probably get it done. If he could just drag, I think what Chris Gutierrez is like a 70% takedown defense rate. So he stuffs most shots, but you know, this is a good wrestler in front of him. I'll go with the undefeated free Basharat, but I think Chris Gutierrez gives him a run for his money.
Currently, the odds of 4-1 for Basharat, Gutierrez plus 330. I just think Basharat is a better version of Chris Gutierrez and a younger version of it. Chris Gutierrez, his last, couple wins. Let's just talk about him real quick. In his most recent fight, it was a close one against John Castaneda. Fight before that, it was a 3-rounder against Kwang Lee where he was taken down. Fight before that, Song Yadong, he got handled by, but, it was a 5-rounder. The issue, though, I have with Gutierrez is also his fight IQ. He spoke about it himself, the mentality, confidence issues. Like, he rolled for the damn leg lock, the Inamari roll, round 5 against Song when he needs a knockout. Mistakes like that are just costly with the Gutierrez side, where I haven't seen those flaws in Basharat. I say Basharat is just simply put more of the winner between the two of them.
I mean, his UFC record, though, bro, got in on the Ultimate Fighter in 2018. In the actual UFC, he's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 3 in the UFC. It's a fucking solid record. 10 and 2. 10 and 2 in the UFC. That's actually a draw with
10 and 3. Barcelos got him in the debut.
That's true. Yeah, Ultimate Fighter finale. Fair. So he's a lot of UFC experience. He's pretty fucking, pretty seasoned. I could see him using mobility and leg kicks and wasting time. It's up to Farid to close the distance. I think he will. Farid's talented, man. He's talented. When he gets on top of you, he's aggressive. He tries to go for finishes on the feet or on the ground. Yeah, I could see Basharat being too much.
Basharat, that's going to be my call, Finch. I think he gets a unanimous decision. Currently, a decision line is minus 185. So, gambling side doesn't have you jumping up and down for it. But a Basharat win, I think pretty damn likely in this one.
All right. I don't know if it's 4-1, but AJ seems to feel that way. So, okay. All right.
Let's go. Let's keep running. We're both going Basharat. Next fight on the card, we got the featured prelim for now, at least, until they get a Tebagate, a new fight, if so. Edmund Shahbazyan versus André Muniz. After Cam Ralston destroyed Petrosky quick, I was thinking to myself, shit, man, is the better side going for the underdog here? But then I got logical, and I said, André Muniz, chin seems to be gone. And even when he had a chin, he was still getting knocked out. He's got 6 KO losses, all 7 losses by finish. And I got Edmund Shahbazyan, whose biggest flaw in his game is his wrestling/grappling, which he has spent years working on. He's got to be able to pass the aging Muniz test. This is not a prime Muniz on fire. This is a Muniz that got a lucky decision against Jung Young Park in a fight he was mounted even against the striker, even though Park's got some wrestling, much more of a boxer. Had bad loss to Paul Craig. At this point, the Paul Craig loss, especially seeing the downfall of Craig after the fact, is a stain on the resume. Muniz is a pretty shit striker. He's got decent kicks, but his boxing is not good. His takedowns are actually solid. Like, his level changes are kind of quick for a jiu-jitsu fighter. But Edmund Shahbazyan's takedown defense has gotten a lot better. It's not like Shahbazyan has this issue where he's constantly getting taken down as of late. The reason he lost to Gerald Mearshart is because he dropped him and then went guns a-blazing trying to get the knockout. If he just stays poised and confident, he probably picks him apart for 3 rounds or maybe KOs him later. He did just that against André Petrosky. And then you can look, oh, well, debut in Cam Ralston, look how easy he made it look. Styles make the fights. And that was before we saw Petrosky shut down by Shahbazyan, that Ralston absolutely ate him in a round. Edmund Shahbazyan fought that fight with a calm confidence, picked his shots, made Petrosky uncomfortable, hurt him to the body. I think Shahbazyan can be effective with straight punches here. I think Shahbazyan can be effective with teep kicks to the body here. And I think Muniz is going to open up. The way he enters range, it's just awkward. The chin comes up a bit. I think Shahbaz can catch him with a counter hook. And let's be real, man. That Ikram Aliaskarov left hand that dropped Muniz, this was not some absolute wild bomb, some slugfest power shot, some crazy sucker
Tell him,
punch.
AJ.
It was a little... and he went down. I think Muniz is probably getting knocked out by Shahbazyan here too. So I'm gonna go with Edmund.
Brutal. From the sounds of it, he's getting knocked out by the flying knee. AJ DeVito himself. Look, guys, I think in 2021, André Muniz was like a real threat, a real prospect. Like, oh shit, on the ground, he could submit a Jacare Souza. This guy's nasty, you know. Who knows what the ceiling's like. And then he fought good competition, and you saw his heart have some issues, you know, him showing some sort of mental checkouts, you know, and I don't like to see that, especially when you're talking about me having to pick who's going to win. And then, because you want somebody with some fucking ability to be durable and come back. And then Emmett Shahbazyan's looking better now, right? Emmett Shahbazyan is like the André Petrosky training camp is a great one to do right before a André Muniz. He's got to defend takedowns. He's got to let his shots go. He's probably a pretty bad matchup for André Muniz as long as he's not grappling. One of the worst things you could see in the UFC is a tired Edmund Shahbazyan grappling. We don't want that. As long as we avoid that, Edmund Shahbazyan probably beats him up.
Yeah, I think Edmund Shahbazyan does beat him up. I think he thuds him up with clean shots. I think he shows him a different level on the feet. I think he stops the wrestling onslaught. I think he puts him out. I don't think Muniz has the durability, man. I think that Shahbazyan, he could pitch a striking shutout here if need be, but I just don't think Muniz has the durability to survive some clean combos because Shahbazyan is going to hit him at some point.
Yeah.
I'm going Shahbazyan KO. I think he's going to look pretty good.
The way he got Dylan Bugk out of there in the first round,
Right.
AJ Dobson, you know, Dalcha. Yeah, he could definitely get a first round finish here. It's very live.
I wish. Minus 275 Edmund Shahbazyan. The KO line is minus 175. So betting side, they're making it a little tricky. Could Muniz submit him? If you think Muniz wins by submission, you can chase the 5-1 sub line.
KO at minus 175 is so unattractive.
Right?
Whoa, that's
Ugly.
a wallflower.
Ugly, bro. It is what it is, though. I think Shahbazyan wins by knockout.
I think Emmett Shahbazyan could finish him. You know, it's not going to be an Emmett Shahbazyan submission,
No.
right?
Unlikely.
It's not going to be a fucking, you know, Fluffy Hernandez tapping out Rodolfo, you know, Vieira out. You know, it's not one of those. So no, we'll still go with that Shahbazyan TKO.
Let's go. Shahbazyan to pull through. The call for me, the call for you, and probably for most of you watching. Let's jump to our main card opener. We have good matchup at middleweight. Also, guys, if you haven't hit that like button, smash that button. It helps us out. All right. Boost the algorithm, hit the like, show some love. And if it's your first time on the show, welcome. Hit the subscribe button too. Abus Magomedov versus Joe Pyfer to get things started off with UFC 320. I'm going with Joe Pyfer to beat Abus Magomedov. I think Joe Pyfer is a good call in this matchup here. All right. Abus Magomedov, sniper style kickboxing and really good early, but his gas tank is mediocre. And people are going to push back and they're going to say, well, Joe Pyfer's gas tank's not great. I think that it's overhated. He's still in the third round is effective against Gastelum, but no, he's not dropping him 3 times because he's realizing, we talked about this, like, all right, Kelvin Gastelum's not going away. I hit him with some bombs. I dropped him, but this guy's blockhead. Magomedov doesn't have a blockhead like that. If Pyfer lands with precision and power like he did on Kelvin Gastelum, Magomedov's getting knocked out. He was rocked bad, Magomedov, against Bruno Ferreira. Able to hit the takedown, able to get the submission. He ain't taking down Joe Pyfer. Joe Pyfer's sound in all areas. I think this is a big coming out party style of matchup for Joe Pyfer on a pay-per-view. I think he's putting Abus Magomedov to sleep. Even last time, Magomedov was uninspiring against Michel Pereira, Mike Finch. Both of them were uninspiring.
Yeah.
I'm going with Pyfer, and I think he's going to do some damage. I think he's getting a KO. What do you think?
Yeah, Joe Pyfer, he took rounds off against Kelvin. I've had that fucking thought too, standing in front of Kelvin. Like, this guy could just take everything I hit him with, huh? So Joe Pyfer's like, why take the risk? I'm going to win this decision. So I think people are misdiagnosing that Kelvin Gastelum fight pretty bad and across the board. People are like, oh man, Kelvin and him were neck and neck. Like, yeah, but that's ignoring the elephant in the room here. You're seeing the trees and missing the forest, man. Like Joe Pyfer was better. He just was up, so he just strategically chose to coast. I think he'll be on the gas pedal against A-Bus. I think he'll probably get A-Bus out of there. I don't really see where A-Bus is better at a specific discipline. I can't pick A-Bus in a wrestling match, not a jiu-jitsu submission match, and even in striking, bro. Joe Pyfer's got fucking hands on him. Give me Joe Pyfer. Give me a finish.
Yeah, I think Joe Pyfer's getting a KO in this one too. Joe Pyfer's a -230 favorite. I like the odds. A-Bus +195. Pyfer by knockout sits at +150. I think it's likely. I just think A-Bus Magomedov's going to get caught, man. I think he's a little too slow for Joe Pyfer, especially after the first round. Pyfer's a demon in the first round anyways. I could see him knocking Magomedov out early as well. I think it should be a Joe Pyfer showcase.
He just got to go put pressure on him. Sean Strickland showed the way a long time ago. Go out there, put pressure on this dude, make him back up, make him get him threatened, and then you just accumulate like an avalanche, like a snowball.
Let's go. Pyfer, snowballing him. Pyfer, piling on the heat. This should be his chance to thrive. And I'll also say this, in 3-round fights, I mean, if the Jack Hermanson fights 3-round, he's undefeated in the UFC. In a 3-rounder, come on, man. Joe Pyfer, I mean, Magomedov don't even have 5-round gas, but especially in a 3-rounder, I think Joe Pyfer puts him away, puts pressure on him, and I think he breaks him.
Careful of the Mexican food this week, Joe Pyfer, okay? Careful of the tacos this week, Joe. We want to see you fight.
Let's go. Next fight on the card, we got the featherweights going after it. Josh Emmett versus Youssef Zalal. Mike Finch, Youssef Zalal getting the chance now to break into the top against an aging Josh Emmett, but still a Josh Emmett that's competitive. Still have to give him credit for performances. In his most recent fight, fought against Lerone Murphy, 5 rounds. Yes, he clearly lost the fight, but still goes the distance. Other losses to the likes of Ilia Topuria, Yair Rodriguez. He's still mixing it up and doing okay with some of the best guys in the world. How does he go against a Youssef Zalal in his second UFC run that just seems almost like the Floyd Mayweather of MMA? Incredibly hard to hit. Nasty footwork, crazy speed from the outside. What do you think about this matchup, Finch? Give us the breakdown first.
Youssef Zalal is so much more mobile than a Josh Emmett. Josh Emmett has these big bombs, but he swings them. He kind of dips his head a little bit, bends his knees, and swings these big shots. I think Youssef Zalal showed us his bicycle. His bicycle works real well. It can go left, it can go right. He could just rolling away from you. And I think he uses his jab, gets to work with his legs in this fight. I think Youssef Zalal is going to dominate a Josh Emmett. Does he finish him? I don't think so. I think he probably just dots him up. I think he kind of picks up where he left off against Calvin Kattar, honestly. But yeah, Josh Emmett's got power, which you have to respect. But brother, I think Youssef Zalal's way too much for him. Youssef Zalal's got to be a lock here against an aging Josh Emmett. One thing to say about Josh Emmett, my man takes fights. Josh Emmett don't give a fuck who's on the contract. He's signing it. I respect that.
Shout out to the trading champ for the $300 donation. Life is good. Matthews robbed though. Agreed. Matthews is robbed. Life is good. Thank you for $300, my guy. Holy shit.
Life is good. And it keeps getting better every time Trading Champ donates 300. Thank you, Trading Champ. That was Forrest Frank for you guys, if you didn't know. Life is Good by Forrest Frank. Thank you, Trading Champ. John, I was wondering, I saw Doja Cat was live today. She just dropped her new song. By the way, gorgeous, great Doja Cat. Jealous type. My wife hates when I listen to it, but she's the jealous type. You know what it is. So I'm getting shit over there. How can my day get better? A Trading Champ appearance. Thank you, brother.
Trading Champ is a certified gangster. I got nothing but love for you, Trading Champ. Thank you for $299.99.
He said Matthews was robbed, though. Yeah, Trading Champ. It was gross, man. It was too bad because that was my parlay. It was Navajo Sterling and Jake Matthews. So they were saying at the post-fight press conference, maybe they'll turn that over to a no contest. We'll see what happens, sort of thing. I mean, the referee did stop the fight. Pretty fucking bizarre. I do imagine that they have to at least pay him his win bonus and take care of him. I think that you could absolutely argue that that thing should be overturned. And a big piece of this too is I think his corner blew it. I think his corner should have said, no, you stop the fight. You know, we're done here.
The thing is, I want to ask you about that. If the corner said that, would they then get a TKO loss? How would that work?
That would be, see how it would be easier to overturn afterwards, though? Like, even if they did, you could take that and dispute that and be like, look, the fight ended here. The referee stopped the fight, right? So we're done, right? You know, and it's on the referee then, right? So I think that would work out. Even in that case, I think that would work out better than their fighter going back and then losing. Now you're going to try to get the win back. It's hard, right? So yes, I think that would put all of the fault on the referee, and that would work. Okay,
there we go, Finch, man. Sophisticated thought, high IQ Finch in this bitch.
A fight or two in my day, kids. It's always crazy when you try to get a fight overturned because it's not a frequent occurrence, right? It's very difficult to do. But we're talking about professional athletes. We're talking about professional records. They matter. I can argue that, you know, this cost me money, right? And when it really is the ref's fault like that, Trading Champ, I agree, got robbed.
I guess for me, I think it's an unfortunate thing that he's not going to get a win because of it, but probably a no contest coming soon. That has to be.
Right.
That has to be, bro.
I think so.
That has to be.
And I mean, there's something nice about us being able to see what would really happen if that thing continued and Neil Magny, you know, getting the submission. But as AJ said, you know, it was wrong.
It was way wrong, bro. It was way wrong, bro. Listen, I want to talk this fight. I'm going on side tangents galore over here, but I want to say with the side of Zalal, I really have to credit his style as a very tricky fight for an aging Emmett. And the fact that he's able to stick and move as well as he does at the apex, now you give this guy the full-size octagon, I think Josh Emmett is going to be striking out a lot, looking for wild power shots and just not able to catch them. And I think Zalal is going to be on point with jabs, on point with his lateral movement. And I really feel like his feint game is solid too. And if Emmett tries to wrestle, Zalal's grappling is great. Zalal's jiu-jitsu is legit. I really think Zalal beats him in all areas at this point.
Yeah, I think so, man. I think so. And the timing's great for Zalal. This is a great fight for Yusuf Zalal. You know, you could just see that the matchmaking is working for him. I think he's going to be way quicker, able to close distance on him. And as AJ said, there's other layers to the game here too. Yusuf Zalal decision all day.
Yusuf Zalal decision win should be relatively clear, man. Looking towards the lines, minus 455. Zalal has entered his massive favorite status territory now. Emmett plus 355 on the opposite end. Jesus, man. What do you think about that?
Yeah, but I get it.
Yeah, I agree.
I get that one. I can't imagine coming in confident on, you know, it's sort of just like puncher's chance for Emmett, and you never really want to be there.
No, I really think so. We're going to see a good performance from the side of Zalal. I don't want to back like an Emmett saying, oh, well, he lands the bomb. Maybe he traps him against a corner, lands a big overhand. I doubt it. I doubt it. So Zalal to handle business. The call for me, the call for the Finch. We're on the right side of history, I think. Next fight, our featured fight of the night. Yuri Procházka versus Khalil Rountree. Mike Finch, I am excited as hell for this matchup right here. And I felt so torn making a prediction because I can see a pathway for both guys. I really have to say, though, I like the technique on the side of Rountree with the Muay Thai. I love the way he has his proper set. And on the side of Procházka, the most technical guy recently that he fought was Alex Pereira, and he got fucking destroyed. I'm going to go towards Rountree. I think Rountree could catch him with some good kicks in this fight, some good overhand shots in this fight. I think he can avoid the awkwardness of Procházka due to his technique. Not that Procházka won't have moments, but there is a true risk in entering punching range with Rountree. And it's not that he's going to just touch you with the jab and then a straight left, right? He's able to wing big power shots over the top. He also has a pretty dangerous knee to the body he could rip in there. Not that I see Procházka wilting and tapping. I just really think that Khalil Rountree, after that Pereira fight, it's hard for me to not think he has the striking abilities to outpoint a Procházka. Am I crazy for this? Should I be going Procházka? What do you think, Finch?
Crazy's not the right word. I think you're crazy.
Hey,
Maybe you're crazy. I would just, you know what? I would add another thing. Okay, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you first. Yuri Procházka has been getting his degree. He's been in fucking school. He's been in fucking college getting his master's degree. Can you imagine showing up to class and Yuri Procházka sits next to you? Do you have a pencil? I'm like, what the fuck?
I'd be talking to him every day. I didn't know the shit.
You know, like,
I have to go for my master's, dog.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what's he focused on? Because my little sister's trying to get her master's degree, and it's a lot of fucking work. She's not even going to make it to the baby shower. She's so damn busy, you know? She can't get even a weekend off. So, master's degree is a lot of work. Are you ready to fight Khalil Rountree now? You know? So that's another thing you got going for you. This is why I'm picking Yuri Procházka now. Right. I'm picking Yuri Procházka because he has the element of surprise, and Khalil Rountree doesn't. Khalil Rountree's so bread and butter with his Muay Thai that I think a dynamic guy like Procházka spins and elbows him in the face, just finds some shot, even if he starts losing the fight. I'm going to go with Yuri Procházka, but it does feel like gambling.
On this one, the odds have Procházka at -180. The opposite side is +155 on the Khalil Rountree front. Over 1.5 at -150 might be it, to be honest. If you have to bet something, then you don't want to play the underdog Rountree because we're split. Are you crazy about the Procházka betting side? What do you think?
No, because of the way they have it priced. You know, I was crazy about the Procházka betting side when he was fighting Jamal Hill, and you guys know I have predicted the downfall of Jamal Hill quite accurately.
You are the Jamal Hill witness. You had the foresight overall.
I saw them fucking skinny legs walking around. I'm like, this ain't the champ. What the fuck is this? You know, no way this guy hangs. So, yeah, I've been dunking on him for a long time. So I was confident there, but in this matchup at those odds, no.
Yeah. Betting side of this fight is not as attractive to me. This is really just like a pure technical warfare between two elite level striking styles. Procházka with this unique martial art that he has, and then Khalil really representing Muay Thai. Yeah, I look forward to seeing it, man. This is a good battle back and forth.
I mean, you want to talk about fights you want to see live? It might be worth being in Las Vegas this weekend just for me to watch Yuri Procházka versus Khalil Rountree.
Listen, man, if you get the chance to go to the event, you should.
I'm mulling it. Really, because I want to bet. I want to go bet. Got some bets I want to make.
You're going to take fucking 20 grand in cash and just go to war?
Should I film all of it? I should just video.
Dude, it could be a big vlog, Finch.
Right?
Man.
Just video vlog all of it for the gram, for YouTube, for y'all. Yeah, we'll see.
Let's see. Finch, man, going Procházka. I'm going to go Rountree, but we got violent warfare for sure between these two light heavyweights. Next fight, co-main event, we got Merab Dvalishvili versus Corey Sandhagen for the bantamweight strap. I'm picking the side of Merab to get it done in this one, Mike Finch. I toyed with the idea of the Sandman because Sandhagen's striking is really good and his distance management is some of the best. His elbows in close, his knees in close, his body teeps, which we saw Dvalishvili stunned in the first O'Malley fight late to the body. It's just Merab is the unstoppable force. Keeps coming. Even if Sandhagen's on point with strikes in round one, defending some takedowns, Merab's not going to stop. The gas tank seems to be just here and then just goes to here throughout the fight. It doesn't really diminish. So it's going to be Merab at near full strength the entire fight. Can Sandhagen keep this beast off of him for 5 rounds? Can he knock him out? We've seen Merab stunned a couple of times, but he's never been put away. Merab's in insane shape, and normally guys in insane shape have insane recovery with Merab. Right. You have that.
That's right.
I just think that you can't pick against the Merab at this point, especially in a matchup here where the opponent is definitely suspect to being on his back for a good amount of the fight. And Merab's relentless pressure, I'm going to say, is too much. I'm going to go with Merab to take home a decision. What do you think, Finch?
Are we all supposed to forget that Corey Sandhagen just lost to Umar Nurmagomedov 2 fights ago? Are we all supposed to forget that he went to a split decision with Chito Vera 4 fights ago? Merab Dvalishvili is a dominant grappler, dominant pressure, 5-round cardio. What the fuck is Corey Sandhagen supposed to do to him? I guess flying knee is the idea I've heard. Oh man, look out for the flying knees. But you know, he hasn't been able to fly a knee too many people. He's got one nice knockout with it. I think that, you know, Merab should dominate a Corey Sandhagen, especially as this fight goes on, dragging him onto the floor, working him. You know, I think that Corey Sandhagen asked the crowd, right? Who out wrestles me? It's like fucking Umar Nurmagomedov. You remember getting your ass whooped in the wrestling department in that fight? You know, I think that the pace is going to drown him. I think that this is going to be a one-sided ass whooping with Merab swinging the hammer, man. He is a really special talent. The way he gets in there and fights, it reminds me, people are going to maybe love this, maybe hate this, Clay Guida. It reminds me of Clay Guida, where Clay Guida in the gym, so many people, you know, would say, hey, I did well against him in the gym. You get into the cage with him and he brings a fucking pace and a tenacity where all of a sudden it's getting towards the end of the first. You're like, God, I'm fucking tired, you know? And Clay's just getting warmed up. That's what happens with Merab, but he's better, right? His wrestling is better. His, you know, his ability to reshoot, and follow up on that is better. His striking is just different and better from Clay Guida's. So he was able to make it happen. Does Merab make mistakes? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I have been saying Merab, you know, somebody sailing a head kick up there would make sense. One of these days, Merab is going to get caught. Is it Saturday night? I don't think so. I'm going to go with the champ.
Merab to win, and still odds are wide though, Mike Finch. The champ is sitting at -355 with the challenger at +290. If you think the champ's taking it home by a decision, it's 2-1. But where things get interesting is if he did get a sub, you get big plus money all the way at +750 for Merab to win by submission.
You know, it's nice that like Merab wants to finish fights, but it's just not in his nature. It's not necessarily in his style. That nice choke against Sean, if he could hit a dope choke. But Corey Sandhagen's jiu-jitsu is pretty damn good. Ask Uriah Hall. Ryan Hall. Jesus Christ, wrong Hall. Went to the kickboxer, dude. Went to the wheel kick guy. Ask Ryan Hall. He's you could ask Davis and Figueiredo too. So I don't think he's getting sub, bro. I think this goes long.
I think it goes 5. I think Dvalishvili in top position, pressing Sandhagen backwards. And the thing about Merab too is his boxing works. His tornado attack works. As the threat of the takedown is recognized from Sandhagen, there's going to be hesitancies to let shit fly in the feet because he's going to be at risk of getting taken down. And that's when Merab is going to start punching him in the face. So I think Merab is going to have a typical Merab relentless style fight. Maybe Sandhagen will have a couple of moments. I think he could win some exchanges. Maybe he cuts Merab, you know, a bit of a fanfare victory. But the winner at the end of the fight, make no mistake about it, should be Merab after a dominant 5 rounds.
You know, people sing Corey's praises. He's definitely a good striker. He's rangy. He's got a lot of martial arts skill, right, which is great to watch. But I don't see on the resume where it makes sense. I don't see in the matchup where it makes sense to pick him here. I think Merab is a deserving heavy favorite.
Agreed. Finchman and I both going Merab, and still. Let's jump to the main event. If you guys are watching, make sure you all hit that like button. If it's your first time, make sure you subscribe to the channel too. We got Magomed Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira, the rematch. I'm going Magomed Ankalaev again to beat Alex Pereira. I predicted Magomed Ankalaev before their first fight was a week out. I did a video as soon as that matchup was announced, and I felt that Ankalaev would be the stylistic kryptonite to Alex Pereira, and I believe that still. Magomed Ankalaev is a professional level boxer, good combinations, very defensively aware, and he picks his shots at a high rate. Alex Pereira has the death touch of power. His left hook is thing of legend. His calf kicks are out of this damn world. But the thing is, Magomed Ankalaev is, I feel like a fight IQ specialist. He has the game that he saw last time against Pereira, but I think he actually does better this time. He shut down Pereira's boxing game because every time Pereira would go to open up, Ankalaev would catch him with a real thudding shot. He had Pereira stunned. I really think that Magomed Ankalaev is going to do it again. I rate his boxing as technically superior to Pereira's death touch power. I think his defensiveness is there. I think the threat of the takedown, even if not effective, is still an option here. Even if he never gets him down, doesn't have to. He didn't last. He doesn't need to. Cage pressure. But I really think that Magomed Ankalaev in a kickboxing match can mix it up with Alex Pereira. I think his reflexes are sharp. I think his fight IQ is sound. And I think if Alex Pereira comes into this fight with a more aggressive offensive output, I think he's getting put down and out. I'm going Magomed Ankalaev and still, and maybe the best light heavyweight ever.
Whoa! Holy shit! The best light heavyweight ever. Have you met John Jones? Have you ever heard?
That would have been a fight. That would have been a hell of a fight.
Yeah?
It would have been a good fight. Bro. I said maybe, though. I didn't say he'll beat John Jones.
He's getting elbowed up. He's getting his knees stomped backwards. Striking with John Jones. And John Jones is a better wrestler than him. AJ. Wow. Okay, so we'll see. We'll see if this god tier Ankalaev comes out on Saturday. Hey, he was able to win in the first fight with no fucking takedowns, guys. He was able to strike and clinch. There's a lot of fucking clinching with Poatan for 25 minutes. Do you think he's going to be more or less confident this time around? He's going to be more confident, and he's in his prime, and it's Poatan who's aging. You know, Poatan showing little signs of just laying off the pedal in that last fight. It seems like he's fired up for this one. I hope we see that quick twitch on the front foot, getting into trouble, Poatan. But even that guy, AJ has a good point, which is that the fundamentals are there in Ankalaev's striking. He doesn't take stupid risks. His hands are up, his chin tucked. He's a competent kickboxer, and he puts it together nicely with some wrestling. So I think that Ankalaev is good enough at kickboxing to look better than last time and rise with a Poatan. You know, the story coming into this one early on was Poatan's over 25 pounds, you know, overweight, and he's heavier than he's been coming into any fights, and he doesn't want to fight often. Hey, he's saying he only wants to fight every now and then. He doesn't want to be as active anymore. All things you don't want to hear when you're betting on somebody. AJ, what I've seen this week in the sparring footage, in just anything with Poatan, he looks in shape. He looks focused. He looks hungry. He looks like he wants to win this fight via knockout. I think he's going to give Ankalaev a run for his money. Before this, I just did my 5 most confident picks. I did not include Ankalaev in those 5 most confident picks, but I will pick him right here. I do think Ankalaev is coming into his prime. I think Ankalaev is going to have confidence from the last fight, and I think that it's just very hard to clock him with anything big because he doesn't make dumb mistakes. This is not Jamal Hill. Ankalaev gets it done again.
I'm with you, man. I feel like he could catch Pereira with a right hook over the top against the cage and then into the clinch. Or if he rocks him, he could let some combos fly as Pereira throws the power left hook. Ankalaev with good eyes, I could see him getting out of the way and then coming back with 2 strikes. And I could see Pereira put away. I know he's in shape. He's definitely coming to win. But I think an over-aggressive Pereira could get put to bed in this one, too. That's also how I'm feeling, man, is if Pereira has more of an output here, now he's more vulnerable. And the defense has always been the knock on Pereira. He's not a proficient defender. Ankalaev could make him pay. Can you imagine Ankalaev flatlines him?
I could. I don't think you're crazy. I think you're shocking some people, but I don't think that's crazy at all. You know, Ankalaev wasn't able to do a whole lot to him in that first fight. He hit him with some shots, but you know, I could see, you know, as the time goes, right, as we have a relatively, I mean, neither of them have fought, but I think it matters more for Poatan. He's going to need that good timing and to be on that, you know, right on the edge of danger there to catch Ankalaev. Ankalaev's a pretty damn bad matchup for him. Okay, quick thought experiment now. Poatan wins. Him and Olberg is sick. Carlos Olberg versus Alex Pereira. Fucking, that sounds like a fantastic fight. Poatan loses. He goes up to heavyweight and they offer John Jones. They say, hey, John, I know you want to be on this White House card versus Tom Aspinall, But because of all the shenanigans, prove it to me. Fight Poatan. You've wanted to fight Alex Pereira this whole time. We'll do it at heavyweight in February. And then if you win that fight, we'll give you the title shot against Aspinall. I could see that happening.
I love that scenario. Listen, maybe I would say if Poatan wins, is Alberg a lucrative enough name? Or does he then just try to jump up to heavyweight and fight a Jones for a super fight title? The UFC just put something together, a heavyweight BMF title between Pereira and Jones, or potentially doing Aspinall versus Pereira. Like, I think there's a possibility of, if Pereira wins due to superstar status, they could finagle things for the White House card and have what some would call a gimmick, but really it would be a super fight between John Jones and him, even with a loss or a win. But especially, I don't know. With the win, though, I don't know if Carlos Alberg would definitely be next. Is there a world where Pereira's like, yo, fuck the light heavyweight belt. I just beat Ankalaev. We ain't doing the trilogy. Vacate it. Do Yuri Procházka or Khalil Rountree versus Alberg. I'm going to heavyweight now. I'm almost done with my career. I'm done with this weight cutting shit. I think this could be the last light heavyweight fight of Pereira, win or lose here.
Yeah, I could absolutely see that. And what a story to go from middleweight, win the title, light heavyweight, win the title twice, and defended it, and then up to heavyweight. Like, you know, dude's a legend. So Alex Pereira really is carving a spot out for himself if he wins this. And if he wins against Ankalaev, this is going to be massive.
If he wins, I think John Jones calls him out after. I think like that's what John's going to want. He's going to try to do it again. And without having the heavyweight title, I mean, it's a lot easier for the UFC to create something. Like, why not? They did the BMF fucking title for Nate Diaz and Masvidal. They can't fuck around and put Pereira and Jones in a super fight belt and do something. You know, I don't know what they would call it. They could do a BMF if they wanted. I don't know.
BMF? Yeah, John's a pretty bad motherfucker, and so is Alex. So I like it.
I like it, man. Odds for the fight on the gambling side of things. Magomed Ankalaev is minus 260. Alex Pereira is plus 220. I think it's going to take a lot for Pereira to win. If Ankalaev comes in overconfident, let's say, because you said something important that I wanted to touch on. You said he did it last time. He'll be more confident he can do it again. An over-aggressive Ankalaev is one-shot KO'd by Pereira because he does end up fighting uncharacteristically aggressive and looking for the finish. He himself has spoken upon wanting to put Alex Pereira away this time. So it's not my prediction. It's not what I think is going to happen. But this fucking wild fight game shit, things go left and right. If Ankalaev got caught and put to bed, it wouldn't be the craziest shock ever. I just really believe they fight 10 times, probably 7 to 8 of them. Ankalaev gives Pereira a striking, I don't want to say clinic, but a striking fight where he wins and some clinch, some control. And if there's, you know, a couple that Pereira wins, it's probably a flatline KO. It has to be. It's probably catching Ankalaev as he misses a shot, comes in over aggressive, and like a Pereira check left hook on the southpaw coming with maybe a left over the top or something like that and squaring up in the pocket.
I think so. Yeah. And again, it's hard to counterpunch a guy who's technically sound like Ankalaev. Poatan does a great job counterpunching people, like Sean Strickland over parrying and, fucking Jamal Hill. Need I say more? Yuri Procházka kind of rolls the dice. Like these people, you could even say Alex Pereira is like a bad matchup for them. Here's the exact opposite. Here's a guy who doesn't, get over his feet. He doesn't leave himself overexposed. He's moving his head off the center line. He's boxing technically. He knows how to throw sharp kicks. His clinch is strong. There's a threat of some wrestling. So yeah, for Poatan, this is a pretty fucking tough matchup for him. He's gonna have to find a way to be creative and land a shot. It would be similar to my breakdown of Yuri Procházka versus Khalil Rountree. It's like, Rountree's the one who's a little more bread and butter, and it'd be up to Yuri to find a shot. It's just on this one, I see a 33-year-old champion and a 38-year-old challenger. I got to think that Ankalaev is confident here and has a career performance.
Let's go. W. Ankalaev, the pick for us both. Minus 260 on the money line. Is there anything crazy you could bet? I'm not wild about nothing outside of maybe an Ankalaev parlay piece. If he puts Pereira away, it's plus 250. Possible, but I don't know if the odds get me jumping enough to make me want to go for it. over 3.5 is -135. I definitely could see another 5-rounder between the two, especially if there's clinch work like last time.
Yeah, I mean, if you listen to the rumors and you add all that up, the line makes sense, you know. But
Yeah.
if you look, I'm watching him spar, dude. He looks good. He looks sharp. It looks like Poatan. So, you know, I think in reality the odds are a little wide. But what AJ's saying is so possible. It's so possible that it's actually Ankalaev who lands big shots on a Poatan who's taking more risk than he needs to. And you know, one thing to break down here is it's the orthodox southpaw thing.
Yes.
So it takes away Alex Pereira's #1 shot, which is his calf kick. That matters. Personally, this was not in my most confident picks because I think it's a good fight. I think it's a fun fight. At light heavyweight, you standing across from Poatan. Yeah, you're gonna roll the dice a little bit.
Let's go, Finch, man. We're both going on Ankalaev. We're going in still. And you know what time it is, Finch? We got to talk about it. Parlay time.
All the competition that try to compete, stand back, watch the bomb drop.
Parlay time. Open up your wallets and let's bet on some fierce fights.
Yeah, parlay time. I think Yusuf Zalal is a lock against Emmett on Saturday night. Yeah.
Yusuf Zalal surely does seem like he's lock city. I think he goes out there and gets it done. I also feel as though I'm going to go with Joe Pyfer. So Zalal, Pyfer, you're sitting at near even money around -128. Favorite status slightly. Very playable. Now, I was thinking about going on Ankalaev. I actually thought you might have went with Pyfer, and then I was thinking about going on Ankalaev, but I'll go Pyfer with Zalal. I like that too.
You would get plus money, right? What would Pyfer and Ankalaev be?
Pyfer and Ankalaev. Let's get the odds right now for it. So, Mr. Magomed Ankalaev with Joe Pyfer, you got about +107 for those two.
Nice. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, there are definitely some parlays that work on this card, guys. I'm telling you, I'm smashing a dog. I already did. It's fucking past tense. I already did. So I'm thinking about going to fucking Vegas to bet. I'm so excited about it. And then, yeah, there's parlays that seem pretty goddamn straightforward here. So if you guys want to see who I'm betting on, DM at Mike Finch Show on Instagram. AJ, I'm not doing the show tonight.
I know. Mike Finch, he's early Finch. He already did the most confident picks, guys. So instead of me linking up his channel to go watch his live stream, you guys can catch his replay. I have in the pinned tag there the most confident picks from Mike Finch for this card, but also the Contender Series predictions from me. Dana White's Contender Series, week number 8, going down. You guys got to check out my Contender Series picks. I feel like I got some money calls. It's a good card tomorrow. I'll also be live for the entire thing. So a worthwhile watch for sure. And I'm excited as hell for it. So 2 things for you guys to watch after this stream. You can check out the Finchman's Most Confident, and then you can listen to my in-depth breakdown of Contender Series post-weigh-in.
And then you can go see my bets, motherfuckers. Come through. Listen, AJ, you're going to have to link up with me one of these days, bro. You're going to have to come to Vegas for one of these fucking shows.
I would.
All right?
Listen, you know, if there's, I'm telling you, if there's no UFC and it's lights out coming to me, or if it's in the vicinity that's somewhat close, you know, we go, even if I'm not on the mic, you know, I'll come just
He's going to be 70 years old before we find the right fucking
come with
date.
the cane and say, hey, Mike Finch, it's good to finally meet you in person, man.
We'll still be here. I'll be like, yo, man, my boy T, he sold lifetime subscriptions. I had to keep working. I'm 75. I'm still grinding.
I'm here forever, dog. Listen, it's no joke.
AJ is on this fucking camera every day. Go give him some love. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, correct yourself. And, you know, he'll be grinding all week. I'll drop my full card predictions probably after weigh-ins, probably Friday. After we see, you know, is Gutierrez and Ozzy Diaz the only one we're not going to be able to see? We'll see what's up. And, you know, we'll go from there. AJ.
Were you live Wednesday this past week?
I was, yeah. I did it early.
Oh, yeah, I sasaw that. Did you also do a Friday weigh-in too?
Fuck it. No, I did my full card. And you know what? We had a weight miss too. What's his name? Missed weight. Tavares, yes, did against Jack. So you know, that wasn't good. but I picked Jack anyway, so that was fine. So yeah, it is helpful to generally do them after weigh-ins. Maybe that's what I'll do in the future. I don't know. Usually some shit happens at weigh-ins that throws a monkey wrench there. So see you guys Friday.
Listen, we do have to talk something else. Did you see Wanderlei Silva? Did you see the post-fight brawl where he got knocked out violently and he turns off the screen? Mike Finch got to understand.
Yes, bro. Oh man. First off, he was headbutting this dude. I mean, he's in this scrap.
What the fuck is he doing? He weighed 40 pounds more than the fucking guy, and he's headbutting him.
Well,
why sign up for a boxing match?
At weigh-ins, people need to know that Wanderlei had his gym shoes on, so it looked extra crazy. And the guy he was fighting didn't look natural, you know. I don't know what was going on, bro. I don't know what the fuck. What was I looking at? I have no idea. But I do know that I saw Wanderlei headbutt this man very clearly. So two pissed off corners throwing punches at each other. Wanderlei comes in, gets absolutely put out with a bare knuckle shot. You don't like to see that, man. It's fucked up to see. Wanderlei's had his lights shut out many times, so it's like it's dangerous, you know. Seeing
who knocked him out? You know who it was that KO'd him?
I don't.
It was the guy's son that knocked his ass out. That's some fucking real movie shit.
It's clean KO, but it doesn't. Wanderlei's chin is seen better days.
Yeah, that's rough, man. Shit, I don't understand the IQ of throwing headbutts in general. Why do a boxing match? Why cheat? Like what are you doing? What's it all for?
Well, Wanderlei used to fight Vale Tudo. I mean, he's gone from Vale Tudo all the way to now he's doing Queensberry Rules boxing and he's headbutting people. Like Wanderlei, just go back to Vale Tudo.
They still have matches like that out there? Probably in Brazil. You can find them on the ground.
In Russia, they got some wild shit. You keep
King of the Street
guys fight one guy and shit. Wanderlei would love that. They do some old bare knuckle style fight for Wanderlei.
Why doesn't he just do BKFC then? I don't even understand.
Fuck yeah,
we'll sign him.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, they would love that. Are you kidding me? Conor McGregor, Wanderlei. He'd be out there fucking hyping him up, dude. Conor would be crazy. So yeah, I think that there's a lot of opportunity for him. Why is he boxing? Because these guys get offered money and they're like, I don't know, should I 80 grand? Okay, fuck it. They go do it. Chael Sonnen and Anderson Silva had a third fight where they boxed and it was like a sparring match. It was very strange. They're just kind of cashing in, So yeah, when you're offered a big check, I think it's hard to say no. And Wanderlei got caught up in something that was pretty bad. And one thing I do like to say when I see scenarios like that, you got to know when somebody's unconscious, protect them. Like, oh my God, if somebody would have kicked him in the face while he's down, you could have really lost Wanderlei. Like, you got to protect an unconscious body. When somebody gets knocked out and there's fucking 20 people in the ring throwing punches, first priority, don't stomp on the, make sure nobody's attacking the guy who's out. Dangerous shit.
Pretty fucking wild, man. That was some crazy shit. But yeah, Wanderlei, wish him nothing but a sweet recovery. BKFC, give him a goddamn fight. I want to see Wanderlei bare knuckle. That's it.
That's
Mike
cool.
Perry, Wanderlei. Who gives a fuck? Let's just do it at this point.
Oh man, you're gonna do a Wanderlei like that, bro?
Who we gonna have him fight?
You're gonna have him fight Yoel.
Yeah, right.
Yoel versus Mike Perry. Who the fuck you got, bare knuckle?
The fuck, Yoel, bro? Are you kidding me? You put him out. He'll knock Mike Perry's ass out in bare knuckle.
I'm gonna go Mike Perry in that one.
Over fucking Yoel Romero. Yoel Romero's gonna take the head of Mike Perry off.
Yoel Romero. I sat behind Yoel Romero in the Bellator bus. He has a surgical scar running down the back of his neck. His fucking neck is bigger than his head. It looks like a mountain. And he has a surgery, and I could see, I'm like, why was he shooting in MMA? Something's going on there where he's a little stiff, and I think Mike Perry, get dirty, get in there, use that BKFC experience. He had no problem with Luke Rockhold. Neither did Luke Rockhold. All right, bad example. Fair enough.
Hey, yo, Finch, it's a pleasure as always chopping it up with you, man. Any final words for the folks before we close out?
10-2 for AJ last week, 10-2 for me last week. You guys gotta love it. You got the hardest working the guy in the game right there next to me, and you got the most well-dressed motherfucker for UFC 320 right here. Go check out my channel if you guys want to see my most confident picks. I drop my 5 most confident locks over there on my channel /Mike Finch. And then, of course, I'll see you guys on Friday.
Check out the Finchman stuff. Link pinned in the chat. I'll also put the link in the description form as well. And yeah, check out Contender Series picks for me too. Love you all. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out, you savages. Good night. And I'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon. Bye.